Hello. If you're here, you're probably interested in buying the Fretwire full hollow body base kit. And there's not really much about it on the internet. I have it here next to, as best as I can figure, the inspiration for it, the Gretsch 5440. There are a few differences I'll go over. First of all, the nut width on the Gretsch is about 1.5 inches. So it's much thinner versus the 1 5/8 on the Gretsch. They're both the same scale length at, I believe, 34 inches. The next major difference is the fret wire is put together with maple tops and poplar plywood. I believe this is solid maple. The pickups on the fret wire are humbuckers, but they're not the TV Joneses of the Gretsch. Being a cheaper kit, that's obviously to be expected. It's got a fair amount of its own tone. There's barely any high end, as opposed to the Gretsch. It's got a lot of top end to it. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing with this. You don't really buy a full hollow body bass for its high end tone. You buy it because you want the upright sound. You can still get that with the Gretsch, but it's a lot easier with flat wounds on here. I have Diodario flats on this one. This one still has the Gretsch factory strings. The factory strings that come with the fret wire are terrible. I broke the G string on mine, just trying to put it together. Now next, I would like to point out the bridges. Mine isn't the one it was supposed to come with. The factory bridge was drilled incorrectly and I couldn't use it. So I contacted customer support. They were very willing. They sent me out a new one free of charge. So this is a slight misunderstanding on their part and a miscommunication on my part. I should have told them Gretsch style. They sent me a Hofner style. You can see the differences. Now theirs didn't come with a metal bridge on it. So just a little bit of a cost-cutting measure for them. Not really much of the tone is lost, but there's still a noticeable difference. The bridge, tailpiece, you can see, much beefier on the Gretsch. It's not made of wire, but again, this guitar is $200. This guitar is about $1,000. Now, another thing that's not the best about the Fretwire kit, you can hear how nice the Gretsch's switch is as opposed to the Fretwire. First of all, watch. It feels more like a joystick. And the knob came pre-stripped from the factory, so that's always great. One thing you might notice, this is an imitation fretboard. It's not the best, and the nut is hollow plastic, as opposed to what I can best figure is bone on the Gretsch. I'm not sure, and it obviously has a nice real wood fingerboard. Now, sorry, framing. As far as building tips go, a number of holes like the pickups and the tailpiece on the fret wire were drilled incorrectly, and as a result, you might not be able to see it very well. No, it's pretty invisible. But the strings were shifted to where this G string was about off the fretboard. It's very far over. And as a result, I had to re-drill the pickups, move them over a little bit, and I had to re-drill the bridge, tailpiece, you know what I mean, bring it over. Just a few minor adjustments done in 15 minutes. I had to file the nut because it was way too high. One thing that is nice about it I mentioned this earlier, is you get a nice bound fretboard and the neck, very narrow nut width. It's a very skinny neck, full C profile as opposed to, I think, a D on the Gretsch. So it's a nice, fast moving neck. I have shellac on it just to get rid of a little bit of friction. I don't have a clear coat on here. I would highly suggest doing grain filling or clear coat. This is just nitrocellulose. The wiring diagrams, I'm not entirely sure if I did them right or not, because a normal guitar knob, you turn it up and it goes that way, but on mine it goes backwards. So if you'd like to hear a sound demo on a not nearly as nice sounding phone, I have an older video, but that's as much as I can think of right now. See you later.